ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, welcome. Today we're on a very special e-bike from Ecells, the second generation of their 5-star model, the 5-star 2, and specifically we are on the dual star 2 model, which comes with some upgrades such as a second 15 amp hour rear rack battery, a giant front headlight, and a dual crown front fork, and more. We're going to talk about all that later today. And if you do want to check out this nearly 40 mile an hour, 2400 watt dual battery beast of an e-bike, I will leave this bike link in the description below. Use code MAX100 to save $100. Sometimes these bikes go on sale, so to get the most recent price, definitely check out the link in the description below. This thing is awesome. I cannot wait to test this out. I've been waiting for the weather to clear out, and finally we have a day that it is sunny, nothing's falling from the sky, and it's about 50 degrees out today as well. And today we're going to bring this bike through all the usual tests. The hill climb test, the top speed test, the steep hill climb test, the brake test, all the tests. And after this video, I think you guys are really going to see just why this company, Ecells, is, in my opinion, one of the top e-bike companies out there right now. The quality of this bike is on a whole other level. I review a bunch of bikes, and putting this bike together, you could just tell that this is something else. And we're going to start off with our usual 0 to 20 test. My settings today, let's turn this off, turn it back on. To get to the advanced settings, you hold down the plus and the minus buttons, or the up and down arrows. C5 is turned all the way up to 10, which is the starting strength. Speed limit is unlimited at 99 kilometers an hour, so we are good to go. Let me show you what the C5 setting does. So let's bring it down to 1, and I'll show you guys the 0 to 20. So this is with C5 set to level 1. 3, 2, 1, go. Nice, soft, relaxed start. 20. And as you can tell, the speedometer is more or less accurate. We're off by about a mile an hour or so. No big deal. So now we're going to set the C5 to 10. Hold the up and down arrows. Yes, I'm doing this while I'm riding. Don't be jealous. Bring this up to 10. There it is. All right, here we go. 0 to 20 test. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Much stronger start. 20. All right. We'll throw those numbers up on the screen for you. And if you do want to see the full leaderboards, make sure you visit MaximumChargeEV.com. Let's head on to our main hill climb test. Oh, we got the power. Yeah, buddy. Wow. All right. Main hill climb test. 3, 2, 1. Boom. We're off to a strong start. All right, we're already at 25. Nice. This is going to be good. Oh, okay. Wow. We're going quick. Wow. We crossed over at just about 30 miles an hour. You guys know the drill. Next up, let's check out the top speed of the free spinning wheel. Let's see how we do. Wow. 47.4 miles an hour on the speedometer. Downhill speed test. Let's see if we can get to that speed going down this hill. We're going to pedal up to speed first. All right, we hit 43, but the hill was on the shorter side. If we did have a longer hill, I think we would do much better. Moving on to our steep hill climb test. First impressions of the suspension. It is so plush. Ecells has always given me a fantastic suspension experience, and I do feel it quite a bit on this initial ride on the sidewalk. The dual crown fork is doing a fantastic job absorbing bumps up front, and that rear air shock, the adjustable air shock, is phenomenal in the back. I am really looking forward to the rest of this review. Quick handlebar width test for you guys. Actually, a fun fact, according to a commenter, this telephone pole is not supposed to be here, but it kind of works out for us because now we can test out the handlebar width test. So, as you can see, not too wide, not too narrow, just right. Let's keep going. Here we go, steep hill climb test. Let's see how we do. Stopping at the line. 3, 2, 1. Boom. I got a good feeling about this. I'm going to guess 13 or 14 miles an hour. Okay, we're at 14, holding 14. 15. Wow. All right. I think when I tested the first 5-star, it stayed at 14 for a lot longer. This one seems to have jumped to 15 way faster. That's interesting. Does this have more power? Can't wait to test the top speed of this thing. On the way to our top speed testing site, let's check out the 20-mile-an-hour brake test on our new designated brake test site. Ready and brake. Wow. Wow. Holy crap, that stopped on a dime. Okay, just to give you guys an idea of how good these brakes are, I stopped somewhere here. The last bike I tested was dual motor. More power than this, probably about the same weight. 180mm rotors, and it also had quad piston calipers, but they were just DY Island brakes. So nothing special, not like these Tektros. That bike went all the way up here with its front wheel. This one's all the way back there. That's incredible. Some of the reasons why the brakes are so good. Number 1, Tektro hydraulic brakes, very good brakes. Number 2, 203mm rotors. Number 3, I suspect that the front fork has a lot more give, and so there's way more weight being shifted to the front wheel. And since that front wheel does way more braking than the rear wheel, because once the rear wheel locks up, that's it. That's as good as it's going to get. But since, in my opinion, I think the front wheel does a lot more work because more weight is shifted forwards. That's very impressive. All right, let's continue on. We're going to roll on down to our top speed testing site. All right, ladies and gentlemen, top speed test. We're going to pedal up to speed and then see where the throttle tops us off. Here we go. Pedal, 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 pedal. All right, we're ducked down a bit. See how we do. 34, 35. I do feel somewhat of a headwind. 36. Yeah, speedometer's right on the money. 36. So it looks like it's going to be 36 going one way. All right, let's turn it around and do the same thing. Here we go. Pedal up to speed. Pedal, 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 pedal. All right, tuck down a bit. 35, 36, 37. All right, we got 38, 39. Oh, I saw 39 flash. 38, 39 on the GPS. Yeah, buddy. All right. 39 miles an hour going the other way. Very cool. That's about what I got with the last 5-star with the single battery, although this dual battery one seems to be slightly faster. Maybe it's because those extra cells allow there to be less voltage sag when I accelerate, giving you more power overall. That was great. And normally we would do an off-road test off to the right, but the ground is very, very muddy, and I don't want to get this bike too dirty. We're going to save the off-road test for another day. We'll make a second video. Maybe we'll get a range test in there as well. But don't worry, guys. We will test this bike on the Sidewalk of Doom, which might as well be an off-road test. That is seemingly the worst maintained sidewalk in existence. And since this bike is quite fast, we can stay on the road. Sometimes I'm on the sidewalks and slower bikes, but we can stay on the roads. We got plenty of speed, plenty of power. Look at this, guys, crushing it, going 30 plus miles an hour up this hill. All right, now entering the Sidewalk of Doom. Test the suspension. And so far, it is doing amazing. Just as expected. You guys hear my voice. Yes, it was bumpy, but compared to a lot of other bikes, it is way better. Especially because that rear air shock is adjustable, and you can adjust it perfectly based on your weight and your riding style. Oh yeah, I hear that front fork working wonderfully. Very nice. And before we continue with the rest of the review, let's quickly head back into the MCHQ so I can show you guys the specs and components of this bike. See you in a bit. All right, guys, let's take a look at the specs and components of the 5-star 2 with the dual star package, the 2 batteries and a couple other extra features. Let's jump right in. Let's start at the top. At the top, we've got faux leather locking handlebar grips, Tektro hydraulic disc brake levers, simple 3-button control panel, which turns on the KT display. Nice. And this display does have a built-in USB port. And then we have our usual Shimano 7-speed Mickey Mouse style shifter and a half twist throttle. If you guys take a look at this handlebar, we got a nice rise on the handlebar itself to make sure you guys have a very upright seating position. Now there's a few things you get with this dual star package. Let's start at the top. First is a dual crown fork. This is an air fork, as you can see right here. It says air. You can put more air in right up top. And up here, you've got a lockout adjustment. And at the very bottom is a rebound adjustment. This little rubber ring on the fork will tell you what the current compression is of the settings on this fork. So for example, if I bring this all the way down and then I push the fork down, the rubber ring is going to go up to a certain position based on the settings that I calibrated on this fork. Got some bumpers on the fork to make sure the fork itself does not collide with the frame. And this high treble dual crown fork is going to give you a lot more travel than a typical front fork, which means you're going to have a better feeling ride and more control with the steering. Another thing this dual star package comes with is the giant front headlight. This thing is a massive multi-LED headlight. This thing is massive and insanely bright. This thing will light up just about any road that you're on. Here's what the rear light looks like. And here's what it looks like when it's on and I hit the brakes. Here's what the rear light looks like when it's off and I hit the brakes. And the light back here on the battery itself is turned on with a button on top of the battery. Press the button and there's your rear light. Metal fenders in the front and in the rear. And these fenders are very solidly mounted. These are not going anywhere. Insanely sturdy mounting. We have it bolted to the rack itself, up here to the rack, and then in 2 spots to the frame itself. Super solid mount. For tires, you get knobby 26 by 4 inch Kenda Crusade tires. And the tires are wrapped around these double wall high strength wheels. For brakes, you get a 203mm rotor with quad piston Tektro calipers. Same setup in the back. Moving on down, let's talk about the frame, which is a significant part of the upgrades involved with the 5-Star 2. This frame is better and stronger than the last 5-Star frame. One of the things that it features now is an integrated battery compartment. So the 20 amp hour 60 volt battery, Samsung cells, UL certified, sits inside the frame to make sure that it is sturdy and well protected. The frame also has some points in the front to mount some extra accessories. Some mounts for water bottle holders and other accessories up top. Check out these 5 stars. Nice. All the cabling is routed internally. That's going to give this bike a very clean and sleek appearance. This frame features some upgraded suspension mounting points. Look at how thick these pivot arms are. And this is a D&M A08RC shock. I've used this shock on other bikes before. This is a fantastic performance shock. You got your rebound setting here and a port to put more air in on the side. And if we take off the rubber boot on the rear axle nut, one awesome feature on these Ecells frames that I haven't seen any other bike have is that this rear dropout is what they call a non-dropout dropout. And if you can see, there's a bolt going through this dropout right here that's going to clamp down on the axle itself. So God forbid this nut gets loosened. What happens on a normal dropout is sometimes the axle will wiggle through, damaging the dropout, and then the wheel flies out, and then you're having a very bad day. With this, even if the nut itself is loose, this dropout design will keep this axle in place and keep you safe on the roads. Always check these nuts periodically, but just in case, Ecells has thought ahead to make sure that you guys stay safe and these axles stay in place. Nice job, guys. Getting back to these batteries, so again, this is the main 20 amp hour battery right here. You can charge it individually through this port, or if you want to charge both the rear and the front battery together, there is a charge port right in the center. So you can use one charger to charge both batteries. And this bike comes with a 3.5 amp charger, which by default has one end for a charger, but you also get this adapter. So if you want, you could take the adapter, plug that in, and at the end of the adapter, you get 2 ends for charging each individual battery off of the bike, if that's something you want to do. Or like I mentioned earlier, you could just use the single lead from the regular charger, plug it into this center port right here, and then automatically charge these 2 batteries while they are already on the bike. And this right here is our secondary battery, which is 60 volts, 15 amp hours. So a total of 35 amp hours on this bike, this is going to give you plenty of range. This bike comes with a medium width seat that is on the firmer side, and the battery is locked into this very durable looking rear rack that is advertised to support 25 kilograms or just over 50 pounds. And here's our gigantic Handtack rear motor with the steel reinforced gears, 1500 watts nominal, and this motor peaks at 2400 watts because this potted KT controller is a 40 amp controller. And since this controller is 1 potted and 2 exposed, it's going to get plenty of airflow, which means the controller is going to stay nice and cool even when you're pushing a lot of power through it. For gearing, we get an 11 to 34 tooth transmission in the back, with the Shimano Tourney derailleur. And this bike comes with a large front chainring up front to make sure you get that high speed gearing. I don't think we're ever going to be ghost pedaling with this size chainring. And this chainring does come with 2 metal guards on each side. Another great update that you get with the Dual Start 2 package is a torque sensor. So you guys that love pedaling, like to get exercise from your bike, this is going to be the bike for you, but it's tuned in such a way that you can make it either really easy or really hard to pedal. It's really up to you, but I know a lot of you guys really like your torque sensors, and there you go. There you have it. Get the Dual Start 2 for this upgrade. And lastly, for pedals, this bike comes with some basic metal pedals. In the box, we also get a free helmet, a manual for the rear suspension. It also comes with a manual for the LCD display. You also get some netting for the rear rack, and 2 sets of keys, 2 for the rear battery, 2 for the main battery. You also get some wrenches and a derailleur guard. And this bike also comes with a nice roadside repair toolkit. Check that out. You get a pump, a wrench, a tire repair kit. Welcome back to the ride. Next up, we're going to be testing the pedal assist levels of this bike. So currently we're in pedal assist 1. And by the way, this bike has a torque sensor. And so far, this torque sensor feels way better than a lot of other torque sensors I've been on. You do have to work to get power, but it's not a crazy amount. And I'm sure all of that is adjustable in the settings. So let me show you guys how this torque sensor works. So right now, we're in gear 1, pedal assist 1, moderate pedaling up this small hill. We're showing about 275 watts being pulled, 285. Let's try the same hill with a higher pedal assist level. So now we're pushing 500 watts. So almost double the amount of power. Pedal assist 3. I gotta switch my gearing, see that? Now it's giving me 800 watts. But I don't think the power cuts you off at any particular speed. Because if I'm at pedal assist 1, it's still showing me that I'm getting power well after 25 miles an hour. So if you want a bike for exercise, this might be a good option. The pedaling experience on this is way better than most other torque sensors. And if you are looking for a nicely tuned torque sensing bike, this might be a great option for you. In terms of ghost pedaling, you probably will just never ghost pedal because we got a giant front chain ring in the front and the smallest gear in the back is 11 teeth. That's going to give you some high speed pedaling. You could probably pedal this bike well into the 40 mile an hour range and be just fine. Let's try that right now. So I'm going to go to the top of this hill and then pedal and throttle and go as fast as I can. There we go. So that's my cadence. At 35, it's not even close to maxing out. See that? We're going 36, 37, and my legs are not really moving all that quick. So ghost pedaling for this bike won't be an issue at all. Next, we're going to quickly gloss over the contact points and electronics on the handlebars in this bike. So the seat is on the firmer side. If you like that, great. If not, most of you guys replace that seat anyway. If you don't like it, you can always switch it, but if you like it, giddy up. Perfect seat for you. It is on the firmer side for me, especially for an upright riding position like this where most of your weight is going to be on the seat anyway. For pedals, you get basic metal pedals, handlebar grips. Thank God this bike comes with the locking grips, and they do have that ergonomic style for extra comfort. And for electronics, we have a nice looking display with that KT controller. Very simple control panel as well. Lots of things are customizable in this display. I prefer that. I like it when things are customizable. I like tinkering. I like making a bike perfectly tuned with how I like to ride. But it's not so complicated that you would just get lost or mess up some settings in there and then not know how to fix it. And in the display, you can adjust all kinds of things. You can adjust the starting strength, you can adjust your speed limit, you can adjust how many levels of pedal assist you have, you can adjust a whole lot of things. You can make this bike class 1, 2, or 3 if you want. There's no bell or horn, so you're gonna have to install an aftermarket one if that's something that you want. Something that I did want to mention about the riding position, and I'll pull over and show this to you guys. So this seat is kind of close to the rear rack, and so I'm 5'10". I'm about an average male height. I do like an upright riding position. However, what you guys are going to want to probably do is bring this handlebar forwards a bit, and thankfully you can adjust that. You can loosen these 4 bolts and swing the handlebar away from you, because right now I'm kind of pushed back and my butt is definitely touching the rear rack. I actually had to increase the seat height to make sure that I wasn't pushing against this rear rack. Not a big deal. All of that is adjustable. Once the seat height is higher up and the handlebars are pushed forwards, you guys are going to be just fine. But just keep that in mind. What is nice about this seat is that you can bring the seat very, very low. The minimum seating position on this bike is extremely low. So if you are a shorter rider, believe it or not, you're going to do just fine with this large e-bike. And on top of that, if you are overall a smaller rider, maybe you have shorter arms, yes, you can bring these handlebars closer in, and this bike is going to fit you perfectly. Something else that I like specifically about this bike and where it comes from is that it is from an American-based company, Ecells, based out in Nevada. When you call them, you have the ability to talk to real people to help you with anything customer service related. You're not going to be playing email tag with people overseas. And Ecells has been around for over half a decade now, so they know a thing or two about e-bikes and how to perfect them. And that's something else that I do appreciate about this bike, is that you don't just buy this bike and that's it, see you later if you ever need any help. Sorry. No, you can call them up, you can talk to them, you can get help from them, you can get great customer service. And as an influencer who does work with them, I did speak with them on ways they are always improving their customer service. And they did actually upgrade their whole phone system recently to make sure that customer service experience is even better. When you make a phone call, you are very likely to get through to someone who can help you. So make sure you have a great customer experience. Let me know what you guys think about this new Ecells 5-Star 2 with the Dual Star package. The Dual Star 2. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this bike. It is listed in the description below along with my coupon code MAX100, which will save you $100. Sometimes these bikes go on sale. I know the single battery ones are cheaper than this one right now. So if you combine a sale price with my coupon code, you can get a very good bike with very good customer service for a very good price. Check out the link in the description below for the most up-to-date price. Again, use coupon code MAX100. Save yourself $100. So that's it for the review ride, but I will be making more videos on this bike because I know a lot of you guys are interested in Ecells bikes, especially this 5-Star 2 bike. So we'll have an off-road video soon. We'll also have a range test coming up. So stay tuned for those videos in the future. That's it for today, folks. Until next time.